Hey everyone! Welcome to Day 7 of our 30 Days of Creo Modeling Challenge for Beginners. Today, we're going to work on a slightly more advanced model, the pipe bracket with base plate. This exercise will give us the chance to review the basics while also exploring some additional features like creating multiple extrudes, projecting geometry, and applying rounds for the final finish. Don't worry if you're still learning. I'll guide you through every step, and we'll pause whenever we apply dimensions so you can follow along easily. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a complete pipe bracket model, ready to use as a reference for future designs. Here's the 2D drawing for our pipe bracket with base plate. The base is a circular plate with two concentric circles. The outer circle diameter is 70, and the inner circle diameter is 60. The plate is extruded symmetrically to a depth of 48. On the right side, a clamping tab is created using a plane offset 55 from the right plane. The tab is a rectangle with a length of 39 and a width of 28 extruded to next. All edges of this feature are rounded using a radius of 1.5. A tightening hole is placed at the center of this tab with a diameter of 14, extruded through all. On top of the base, another extruded feature is added. A rectangle of length 65 and width 10 is created using the projected outer circle of the base. This feature is extruded to a depth of 42. Next, a vertical feature is added on the left face of the previous feature. A rectangle with filleted corners and a circle mirrored along the vertical axis is drawn. The rectangle has a width of 100 and a height of 42, the circle diameter is 15, and the fillet radius is 8. This feature is extruded 8 with variable depth. From the bottom surface of this vertical feature, another rectangular feature of length 90 is created and extruded to a depth of 6. From the top face of the base, a thin rectangular cut of width 4 is made, using the projected inner circle of the base. This cut is through all. Finally, rounds are applied for the finishing touches. The bottom plate edges are rounded with a radius of 14, the connecting rib edges with 8, and the rib edges connected to the base with 4. Let's open Creo and start modeling this pipe bracket with base plate. Let's get started by creating a pipe bracket with base plate using its 2D drawing. First, open a new part file, click on the New tool, and in the Type area, make sure Part is selected. In the Subtype area, choose Solid. Name this model Pipe Bracket. Now uncheck the Use Default Template box and click OK. In the next dialog, select MMNS Part Solid Abs and confirm with OK. We'll now move into the sketching environment. Click on the Sketch tool in the Datum group, select the top plane, and confirm with Sketch. Switch the view to a normal orientation by clicking Sketch View, so it's easier to work. Start by creating two circles from the origin. Select the Circle tool in the Sketch group, and place the first circle at the origin. Then place another circle at the same origin point. Now let's add dimensions. Set the outer circle diameter to 70. Half. Set the inner circle diameter to 60. Bootstrap. Once these dimensions are applied, exit the Sketch tab. Now that we have the base sketch ready, let's move on. Select the Extrude tool and change the view to the standard orientation so the model is easy to see. In the Depth flyout, select Symmetric and enter a depth of 48. Exit the Extrude tab. Next, we'll create a clamping tab with a tightening hole. Click on the Plane tool and select the right plane as a reference. In the Translation Value field, enter an offset of 55 and confirm with OK. With the newly created plane already selected, click on Extrude and enter the sketching environment. Switch to a normal orientation with Sketch View. Select the Center Rectangle tool and create a rectangle from the origin. Now, give dimensions. The length should be 39. The width should be 28. Exit the Sketch tab. Switch back to Standard View and flip the direction. From the Depth flyout, choose to Next and exit the Extrude tab. Now let's give this new extrude feature its final shape using the Round tool. Select the top surface of the feature, rotate the model, press and hold Ctrl key, and also select the bottom plane. Rotate again, and select the right face. Now you'll see a full round applied. Next, select the side edges, enter a radius of 1.5, and continue selecting the required edges. No need to change the radius values for each round. Once done, exit the Round tab. Now we'll create a tightening hole. Select the Extrude tool and click on the front face of the feature. Switch to Sketch View for a normal orientation. Draw a concentric circle by referencing the existing circular edge and create a circle. Confirm with the middle mouse button. Now apply dimensions. The diameter should be 14. Exit the Sketch tab, return to Standard View, flip the direction, and in the Depth flyout select Through All. Make sure Remove Material is selected and exit the Extrude tab. Next, create an extrude feature from the top surface of the base feature. Switch to Sketch View. Use the Project tool to project the outer circle of the base feature. If only half the circle is selected, press and hold Ctrl key and select the other side so the full circle is projected. Confirm with the green tick. Now with the Center Rectangle tool, create a rectangle. Clean up unwanted entities with the Delete Segment tool. And remove construction lines by holding Ctrl and pressing Delete key. Apply the dimensions. The length should be 65. The width should be 10. Exit the Sketch tab. Return to Standard View. Flip the direction and set the depth to 42. Exit the Extrude tab. Now let's move forward by creating the next feature. Select the Extrude tool and rotate the model. Pick the left face of the newly created feature and switch your view to a normal orientation using Sketch View so the sketching process is easier. Select the Center Rectangle tool and draw a rectangle, making sure to place its center point on the vertical axis. Extend the rectangle wide across the model. Next, create a circle, then mirror that circle across the vertical axis. After that, apply fillets on the rectangle corners. And use equal constraints so that all the fillets remain consistent. Now, let's apply the dimensions. The distance between the vertical lines should be 100. The distance between the horizontal lines should be 42. The diameter of the circle is 15. The distance from the horizontal line to the origin of the circle is 21. The distance from the vertical line to the origin of the circle is 15. Finally, the fillet radius should be 8. Once all these dimensions are applied, exit the Sketch tab. Change the view back to Standard. Enter 8 in the depth value and make sure the variable option is selected in the depth flyout. Then exit the Extrude tab. Now we'll add another feature. Click again on the Extrude tool and select the bottom surface of the newly created feature. Switch your view to a normal orientation with Sketch View. Use the Project tool to project the outer circle of the base feature, just as we did before. Now select the Center Rectangle tool and create a rectangle on the sketch plane. Once it's placed, clean up the sketch. Use the Delete Segment tool to remove the unwanted entities. Also, delete the construction lines by selecting them one by one and pressing the Delete key. Now apply the dimension. The length should be 90. Once the dimension is set, exit the Sketch tab and switch your view back to Standard. Flip the direction. Enter a depth of 6. And then exit the Extrude tab. Next, we'll create another feature. Click on the Extrude tool again and select the top planar face of the base feature. Switch your view to a normal orientation with Sketch View so the sketching process is easier. Now, select the Project tool and project the inner circle of the base feature, just as we did in the earlier step. After that, take the Center Rectangle tool and create another rectangle. Clean the sketch again by removing unwanted entities using the Delete Segment tool. Don't forget to remove the construction lines as well by holding Ctrl and deleting them one by one. Now let's give the final dimension. The width should be 4. Exit the Sketch tab. Return to Standard View and flip the direction. Make sure the Remove Material option is selected. From the Depth flyout, choose Through All. Finally, exit the Extrude tab. Now let's give the model its final finish by applying rounds. Select the Round tool and start with the bottom plate. Pick the first edge of the plate and in the Radius field, enter 14. Now select the opposite edge of the same plate so that both sides are rounded equally. Next, move on to the rib that connects with the plate. Select that rib edge. And in the Radius field, enter 8. Then select the other side edge of the rib to apply the same round. Finally, rotate the model to access the rib connected with the base feature. Select that rib edge and enter 4 in the Radius field. Then select the opposite side edge of the same rib to complete the round. And with that, the finishing touches are applied to the model. That's it for day 7. We've just wrapped up modeling the pipe bracket with base plate. Great job sticking with it. Every model you complete is another step forward in sharpening your Creo skills. And remember, it's totally fine if things aren't perfect yet. This 30-day challenge is all about steady practice and consistent progress. Next, coming up Thursday or a Friday, we'll jump into another exciting model that introduces some new techniques to explore. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next one.